Hello and welcome to episode 16 of
The
Eldritch
Eldritch
Podblast. I am Margaret.
I am Jack.
And hello.
Hello, everybody.
Sorry, I don't know why I've got the giggle.
Just
Yeah,
pick record.
straight up. We clapped us into the intro. I think it's because we were slightly off on saying the Eldritch Podblast.
Yeah, you were
together.
miles out.
I was.
You were slow.
Oh,
Should we do it again?
Yeah. Okay. Oh.
Well, no.
What? Hello.
Yes.
And welcome to episode 16 of
The Eldritch Podblast. That was better.
That was much
much
better.
better.
That was a much better take.
We'll cut out the first one.
Yeah.
Right?
No way. So yes, hello. Welcome to episode 16. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you. Hello.
How is everyone? How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Good. I am good. I am once again very warm.
Yes. But you shouldn't wear long sleeves to every single one of these things that we do.
Yep. Totally.
You should go short sleeve like me.
Totally my long sleeve.
Yeah, my long sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
My, I'm not going to say what it is. The Mighty Nine.
Mm-hmm. The Mighty Nine.
The Mighty Nine long sleeve.
Exactly. Thank
With
you.
many, many eyes.
Mm-hmm. What's the point in having a partner if you don't take their clothes? Am I right?
I don't get to take your clothes because they don't fit me.
Well, you could. You
yeah.
absolutely could.
I wanted to
You're
look like I
welcome
was
to
wearing
'em.
children's clothes.
You're welcome to have them. Have them all.
No.
Yes, so anything you would like to update the people on?
Well, we record these on the same day. So
Mhm.
15 is on the same day as 16.
Yes.
So we've taken the dog to the vet since the first one.
Yes, we mentioned in the first one he's a little unwell. And to be
A
fair,
little bit itchy.
I was like, well, there's probably going to be loads of cuts. I think that episode had the least amount of cuts we've ever
It's
done.
obviously tighter because I just walked him just before that
He's
one.
pooped.
So. He's pooped now. He's feeling better though.
Yes, taking him to the vet, much
Much
better.
Much better.
I'm
Feeling much better.
I'm certain some people would have been like, I hope he's okay. So he is okay.
Yeah, he is. He's okay.
Thank you. Anything else?
No, nothing. Since the last podcast,
Yep.
which was about 4 hours ago.
Yes, it was. It's late now for us,
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
fair. This is
8
the
o'clock.
latest
This is
we've ever
probably,
recorded.
But,
So,
you know, the dog had to go to the vet, so things
yeah.
happen.
Yep, things
Things
happen. So, there's there's once again a few things I would like to go
Yeah, Margaret
over.
saves these and she just like splits them up between the
I
two.
do.
What have you got to update the people on this
Well,
time?
actually, what I have to update is actually quite an exciting update. So,
Oh my
a
goodness.
lot of people, since the inception of this, like what? I say the inception, 16 weeks ago.
16 weeks is a long time. No, it's not 16 weeks.
Yeah, 16 weeks.
No, it's not. 16 episodes.
16
We do
episodes.
8 weeks.
8 weeks.
It's
Yes.
either 2 weeks.
Yes. Yeah.
I was going to say,
8
fucking
weeks.
16 weeks is a
Yes,
really long
16
time.
weeks is a long
But
time.
that means it's been about 2 months then.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, wow.
happy 2 months,
2
everyone.
months.
Yes. A lot of people since the beginning have asked if we're going to put these onto Spotify, if we
Yeah.
can put them onto Apple Podcasts. This is our official answer
It's official
to everyone
announcement.
who has been asking. Yes, I promise. We are absolutely going to go on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
As recording right now, we are in the middle of uploading everything to Spotify.
Yes.
And
So by the time this actually comes out,
hopefully,
they might actually be on there.
yes, I know for a fact 1, 2, and 3 are definitely on there.
Oh, are they already?
Yes, they're
Oh,
already on
well
there,
done.
like as of right now. But listen, we're getting older. We're getting onto the older side of people who use the internet
I've
right
been
now.
old. I've been like that. I've never been on the young side of the internet.
No.
Always been
no.
on the old side of the internet.
Yes, categorically, yes. Scrolling with your middle finger like this,
Yeah, yeah.
holding your phone down here.
Yeah, yeah.
But we
I
are.
don't even have bad eyesight. It's really good eyesight.
Yeah,
so
I've got
I just do it to
terrible
upset
eyesight.
Margaret. I'm like,
So we absolutely are. I promise. I'm
Yeah.
sorry it's taken so long. The problem is we don't really know fully. We didn't know how to do it fully,
yeah.
and there's with uploading anything, even if it's just audio and video, because obviously Spotify supports video podcasts now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of uploading time, and there's just not enough hours in the day
And
sometimes.
It just wrecks your PC when you try to do something.
and we're always on.
And obviously
them.
because we work from home, we're always on the
Yeah,
PC,
yeah.
so it's between like finding the time to upload it and finding the time where you're not on the computer. It's tough.
Yes, yeah, it is. So I promise they're going up.
Well, you got to do it now
We got. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
because if this goes up and they're not up,
I just blank everyone now.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're up.
They're
No,
up,
they're not,
they're up.
Margaret. Yeah, they are. Don't know what you're
You
talking
never see me again.
about. Yeah, we never upload another podcast ever again.
So they're going up, and I promise when they actually are up, we will make a community post. We'll post on all of our social media, etc., etc. You won't miss it. I promise.
You're holding your
I promise.
You're promising a lot of things, ain't you?
That meme of that kid who's like, I'm out. And he just disappears.
I'm out. It just fades away.
So yeah, that was the biggest one. The next one I would like to talk about is
it the sweet jar?
Is the sweet jar debacle.
Oh dear.
Now, as of recording, that episode has only been up for maybe like a few hours at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But there has been quite a few comments. If you haven't watched it, in episode 14, at the beginning of the episode, we do a guess how many sweets are in the jar, because I'm really bad at it, right? This is your time to go and take a look if you don't want me to spoil how many sweets are in the jar.
Oh, but the thing is, she did spoil.
if you want to see for yourself, go to episode 14. It's in the intro in there. And then
come back, because we're going to talk about how many are in the jar.
Here's your sweet jar warning. So, I made a comment.
Yeah, what did you say when I showed you the jar? What did you say? Go on, tell the people what you said.
Because I'm not very good at guesstimating. I said, I reckon at very minimum, there's 50 sweets in that jar.
Yeah, you said there's at least 50.
Yeah, there's very minimum 50 sweets in that jar.
So I feel like you might have gaslit everyone.
And you know what? I have been watching the comments coming in. And the amount of comments that are like, yeah, I think there's about 49 sweets.
There's about 47.
I think there's like 40.
There's about 65.
Yeah. We're in around the range of like 45 to maybe like 60.
Because, you're looking at you're looking through a camera. Margaret's here with the jar, so she gets to see better than you. I don't blame all of you. Well, I sort of do.
There was 205.
There was 205. And all of the guesses are coming in at like sub 100. and I think it's because of you.
I think it's because I was like, well, I think there's minimum 50, right? So I have thrown myself under the bus. And as I'm going, I've snatched you by your wig.
Every single one of you.
I've pulled you right under with me. So we can all revel together in not getting it right. Because so far, I think the closest one so far has been 165. Wow. Which is close, to be fair.
Yeah, it's 50 off.
Yeah.
There's 200.
Closer than what my guess was.
Yeah, no, that's 40 off.
Yeah. So.
Because there's 205.
I want to apologise,
dear
viewer.
I think you should put out a little PSA.
Please don't sue me for making you guess wrong. Because there was a lot at stake.
Because, you lost a lot with that.
Yeah.
All of you lost a lot.
You love and you lost, huh?
Yeah.
Is it better
I'll tell you what you did lose. You lost trust for Margaret.
Is it better?
A lot of people will never listen to Margaret's advice.
Loved and lost to have never loved at all. Something to ponder. Am I right?
Am I right?
Peace out. So that was that, and I would like to introduce everyone to my little friend.
Who's this? Who's the little friend?
It is my new keyboard.
Ooh!
I got myself a new keyboard, and
come on.
It is. Wow! Look at that.
It's nice, isn't it?
It is. It's the Keychron K2.
Yeah.
Anyone who is into mechanical keyboards.
Margaret's always wanted a mechanical keyboard.
It's very much an entry-level keyboard. My best friend Matthew, he has one, and we send voice notes to each other, and I heard him just in the background typing on it. So I was like, "You have to send me a voice note of that keyboard and tell me what it is." And then I copied him and I bought it. So
nice.
That's it. It's a really nice entry-level mechanical keyboard. I reckon it was very inexpensive for a mechanical keyboard.
For a mechanical keyboard,
it was still hella expensive.
Yeah, for a keyboard, it's fucking really expensive.
Yes. For a keyboard, yeah.
For like any of you normal people who don't care about mechanical keyboards and you just want a keyboard, that's an expensive keyboard.
Yeah, I got it with the aluminum.
Aluminium, you are not American.
I got it with the aluminium case. I got red switches, but they are hot swappable. And it's got RGB on it.
Oh.
And I don't know if you guys want to hear, but you're going to hear anyway.
Give them a little like that, and then you can move the mic down as well.
Give them a little, okay. I don't know if you can.
Because you get I think you get the sound of the table as well.
Yeah, I think it's so. Here, right. Are you ready? What, I can't click. Pretend I'm clicking.
Wow. Give him more of the mic.
And in case that wasn't enough, this is probably going to be hellish for you. I apologize.
Hold it a bit higher up. Yeah.
Here?
Yeah.
You get the one-hander.
Wow.
I hope you all enjoyed that. Because
now you're going to set your microphone back out.
Sorry, guys.
Now you can all just listen to me while Margaret talks. Are you all okay?
Okay.
Good. That's nice to hear.
Keep it going.
I was going to say I haven't done much today, but that's a lie. I've recorded one podcast already.
Yeah. Take the dog to the vet. So
took the dog to the vet, took the dog out.
I hope that was as satisfying
set
for
up all of
you
this.
as I thought it was going to be. Watch people literally bleeding from the ears. Yeah. Don't sue me for that
We're gonna be like,
either.
Please never do that again.
Please, literally.
We never want to hear your
keyboard. I couldn't care less about
again.
your stupid keyboard.
Take your keyboard and fuck off.
Yes. So that's the exciting update in my life. I have one more thing.
Oh, okay.
And then I promise we'll get straight into it.
Yeah.
My dear friends.
Okay.
So, at the end of last episode, so episode 15, we did a what to expect for session 0. And at the very end of the episode, and I know it was a longer episode, and it's hard to hang around till the end. You guys did say
you asked for it.
You asked
for those longer episodes.
So, but at the very end, we kind of posed the question to you, and we asked for some feedback, and just said, how did it feel getting that kind of information through like a podcast format?
Yeah,
because we were trying our best to be as informative as we could, but obviously, like I said, it's a podcast format.
Yeah,
there's a lot of
we
back and
tangent
forth.
And we rant.
Yeah, exactly. And did you find that was helpful? Did you find that you understood the information in the way it was intended? And do you think it worked? So please, if you could just let us know, we would really appreciate that. And as always, to finish this all off, we just want to say a big thank you for being here.
Yes.
Thank you very much for all your comments, all your subscriptions, everything. It's been a whirlwind these past 16 weeks.
Yeah, it's felt like it's gone so fast. Feels like half of that.
Feels like it's been 8 weeks.
Feels like it might have been 8 weeks instead.
But honestly, we're really feeling the love over here.
Yeah.
Really feeling it.
Said it before, we'll say it again.
Mm-hmm.
We started it just as a little passion project, and I feel like we've already got a little...
We've got our tribe. We've got our own people now. Yeah.
Followers who just watch every single one straight away. It's amazing.
It is.
We thank you all very much.
We see you every single time we upload. We see you. We recognize people's names. Like we know you guys.
Yeah.
I hope in the same way that you feel like you know us now as well. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Shall we go on? Shall we give them
Shall we give them a? By the way, anytime I look down there,
it's because that's where the dog's laying.
I'm looking at the dog.
Yeah.
Just make sure he's okay.
Okay. So,
what are we talking about today, Margaret?
Shall we just get on with it? Today, it is another submissions episode.
Love a submissions episode.
Not only is it submissions, it's your horror story submissions.
A double whammy.
It's a double
submission
whammy,
horror
friends.
Story.
It's a double whammy.
I'm excited, but also, kind of scared.
Yeah. Also,
kind of scared.
Justly so.
I'm gonna shit myself.
Yeah. It's definitely not the bad diet. It's the fear for the
it's the fear for the subscribers.
Yeah, honestly, thanks so much for all your subscriptions.
Yeah, thanks for sending them in. Oh,
yes. No,
submissions.
Fuck you and your subscriptions.
Fuck your subscriptions.
Fuck your subs. No, thank you for your submissions. If you didn't know, we have a form where you can submit your stories. You can submit pretty much any topic that we regularly talk about.
In the description down below, we'll leave a link to that.
Yes, we will.
Click on that and let us know.
Do a little type on your... Who knows? Maybe you got the Keychron too.
Yeah, maybe,
type on your Keychron.
Maybe it's fate.
Yes. So, without any further ado, would you like to hear the first one?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
I'm excited.
So, story 1. And this was submitted by Audrey, and she goes by she, her.
Okay.
So, I would like to apologize for the long story in advance. Don't apologize.
Don't worry about it.
We live for this.
Yeah.
It's not even that long, I promise.
But it's not the longest one, I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
I've seen some
bangers, some long ones.
Some epics.
Yep. I, 20 female, was in a group that I had been in since I was 16. I wasn't really friends with anyone in the group, but we've all known each other for a while because we all went to high school together. We would switch between who was the DM each campaign we played because we were all new to D&D and figured this would be a good way to learn more about what we like to do.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's awesome.
There was one campaign run by a guy who I will call Jake, fake name for obvious reasons.
Yes.
It was an okay campaign until about halfway through. Halfway through, my character Sammy, her adoptive 10-year-old daughter, and Sammy's brother were all kidnapped by the BBEG. Sorry, I didn't expect that noise and it shocked me.
By now, that's a gasp moment.
Sorry. Yeah.
That's a gasp-worthy moment.
Yes, indeed. The daughter and the brother were NPCs. I wouldn't have had a problem with being taken if I had been warned beforehand, because Jake told me I couldn't participate in the next couple of sessions because Sammy wasn't there, so I shouldn't join them. Okay. I went about a month without being able to play with my friends while they all continued the weekly sessions.
It's kind of rough.
It was very upsetting, but I didn't complain about it or mention it to any other players. That is rough. I would be absolutely...
If I had to go a month.
Yeah, and knowing that my friends were still getting together and playing.
Yeah, if everyone was still getting together.
I would be devastated. Boo.
That sucks. Boo.
After I was allowed to come back, I learned that my character Sammy and her family had been kidnapped for 8 years while they were all abused by the BBEG. So Audrey came back and there was a 8-year gap.
Was there a time skip? There must have been a time skip.
8-year time skip.
Fucking Jesus.
That is rough. It gets rougher. My daughter was now a mind-controlled adult. My brother was on the brink of death, locked in the dungeon, and my character was essentially the BBE's slave in a certain way.
Oh, was it a certain way?
Yeah.
Okay, of course it was.
Learning this was all very uncomfortable for me, particularly because a similar thing had happened to me several times in my real life past. I am so sorry.
I'm really sorry. That's not okay.
It completely drained any fun I had been having during the campaign. I was not told about any of this before the session and didn't want to disrupt it, so I was a lot more quiet than I normally am during sessions. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
The DM also really didn't let me control my character anymore after this point. Jake would say stuff like, Sammy leads the group to the room, or Sammy just sits and listens to the group plan, or would even contradict stuff I would say, like when I tried to help the party open a door, and Jake said, Sammy can't help because she doesn't know how to open it, even though the rest of the party also didn't know how to open it either. Fucking weird behavior.
That's extremely weird behavior.
It was a very unpleasant experience, and while that was the most extreme thing that happened, there were other things during the campaign and other campaigns that were concerning, such as when Jake said he'd join our first campaign together if he could be a paid guard for my character, or when Jake told my boyfriend to stop flirting with Sammy's brother because guys don't flirt with guys.
Okay.
A few campaigns after the Sammy situation happened, the rest of the group finally decided we should kick Jake from the group, because he had been doing stuff like this since the very first campaign, and I guess he finally pushed them over the edge.
That's probably a good idea, I think.
Yeah.
It sounds like Jake deserved to be kicked.
Yes. I think I should have spoken up more about how uncomfortable I was at the time, but I did periodically have one-on-one conversations with the other players sometimes about how weird I felt it was, and especially with my boyfriend who was in the group. I'm a more reserved person and was only 16 when it first started happening. I wasn't able to speak up about it during a session until I was 20. It was hard to play when I felt targeted by Jake most of the time, but I am glad that I am still able to enjoy D&D despite the bad experiences I began with throughout the years. Any thoughts or opinions?
Yeah. I think you shouldn't even blame yourself.
No.
I don't think there's any world where you are the person to blame.
No, and yes.
Of course you felt uncomfortable.
Of course you did.
Of course you wanted to, of course you didn't want to play it. And of course you didn't want to feel, didn't feel comfortable.
Of course you didn't feel comfortable bringing it up because of the reasons you said. You felt like you were targeted.
Yeah, Jake made you feel that way.
Yes, exactly.
You shouldn't ever apologize for that.
No, and hey, it's hard. It's hard standing up for yourself.
Standing up for yourself in any capacity, but like that sort of stuff. When you said that, you've had like similar experiences and things like that. That's paralyzing. Like, the thing is, like, like safety tools are a thing, but I don't even want to say like you should have had safety tools in place because that shouldn't ever be a topic that comes up.
Never.
Like, know, that's an experience that you've been through in real life. And, it's probably something that you don't want to bring up in game, but you shouldn't have to be like, I don't want my character to get SA'd or whatever.
Yeah,
because that shouldn't come up full stop.
That simply shouldn't. And you know what? It shouldn't come up at all. Definitely shouldn't come up without any warning. The fact that there was an 8-year gap for your character and you were forced to sit out a month of gameplay.
Yeah. Before we get onto that, because there's other things that need to be...
Oh,
there's other things 100%. That need to be
100%.
unpacked about that whole... gentleman.
I don't think Jake deserves to be called a gentleman.
No, I want to speak to the gentlemen that are here. I want to speak to the guys that are here. Whatever feelings that you have, or whatever, any feelings that you have towards another person in your group, whether it's, you like somebody, don't ever put a woman or a female presenting figure or another man or anyone for that fact. Don't ever put anybody in that situation. Don't ever bring that up in game. Don't ever allow that to cross into your game, because it's unacceptable.
It is.
And the problem is, the reason I say gentlemen or guys is because every time we read one of these stories, it is men.
Yeah, it is.
Like forcing their weird
female
fantasies
onto their female counterparts.
Female counterparts.
It is.
So
it is.
I don't care what you feel for somebody. Don't let that bleed into the game.
Ever.
And don't ever let that happen. Don't do that.
Don't.
Think about what you're doing. It's not a game when that happens.
No, that's
real, and that's wrong.
Yeah.
So
regardless of any of that, don't do that.
Don't
to
do
the
it.
Players at your table. Full stop.
No, but what I'm saying is, you might for any fucking reason, whatever reason, you might be like, oh no, I think I'll do it. Don't let that.
It's never appropriate.
Don't let that feeling creep into your mind that it's going to be okay to do, because it's not. It doesn't matter how close you are with the person, or if you are like romantically involved with the person at the table. It doesn't matter. It still doesn't make them feel comfortable.
Yeah,
and it's still not okay.
I agree.
It's not okay for the person that does it. It's definitely not okay that you did it, and it's not okay for everybody else at the table to witness it.
Yes. That's something that is so beyond any line.
Yeah.
And the reason I always include stories like this, because first of all, if you've ever gone through the horror story Reddit, you will see
it's just this over and over
and over. And I used to say it's like 50% of it. I would say it's closer to the majority. I'd say the majority of stories are coming from women or female presenting people who have said, my DM or another player, and 9 times out of 10, they are male or male presenting, have done this to me.
Like,
and
sexualized or essayed your character. It's like, why? What is making you do that?
Why do you feel like that's something that has to be brought into...
Oh, there's no way that we can't go through this campaign without me doing this to one of the...
Incorrect.
Just fucking don't do it.
Incorrect. And again, we've had quite a few horror story submissions at this point, and once again, overwhelmingly, a lot of them focus on things like this.
Like, guys, come on. We're fucking better than this.
Absolutely.
We are better than this. Why do we have to make the female or female presenting part of this community feel so uncomfortable?
And it's over and over and over again. The things we post on TikTok, the comments we get on YouTube, so many women say, I feel so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I have never been made to feel so small or uncomfortable in my life.
Because you've got, because you are... Like, just because you're a guy doesn't mean you have the right to do this.
No, of course not.
So
no one has the right to do this, regardless.
Stop it. Stop doing it.
I agree.
Why do you think it's okay to do?
And you know what? A reason also why we want to read stories like this, especially from submissions, because we know they come from you guys who we care about in our community. We read the very first submission story we did. We read a story from Julia. And she said something very similar happened to her, but it was her first time playing D&D. She didn't realize that was. She knew she felt uncomfortable, and it made her feel sick, and she had all these feelings, but she didn't know why. Yeah. And it wasn't until later on she realized. And we read the story out. Julia commented, and she said, "Thank you for reading the story out, because I had spent so long unsure about if I overreacted in this situation. And thank you for reaffirming to me that I wasn't overreacting, and for letting me have some peace of mind." And, like, what more could you want?
Nothing, I don't think.
And
just, like, if you've ever been put in a situation, or if you've ever, like, felt this way, or felt uncomfortable, or felt sexualized, or anything like that by a guy, just know that all of those feelings that you feel that are making you feel the way you are, like feeling, like, upset and unsafe, and all of they're natural. That's, you shouldn't feel that way because you shouldn't be put in that situation. But it's okay to feel that way in that situation. But it's not okay to put somebody in that situation.
No.
Like, you don't ever feel like you shouldn't have felt that way, because that's a natural way to feel when you've been put in that situation.
Of course it is.
But just, men, if you see another DM doing this, if you sat at the table, tell them it's wrong. Tell them to stop.
Tell them to stop.
Like,
stand up for the women and the people around
stand
you.
Stand up for the women or the female presenting people in this community and tell them that it's not okay, because it's not.
And you know what? If there is a Jake in your game and you hear them say things like, "Oh, guys don't flirt with guys," you need to say that is completely unacceptable.
Jake,
question that.
Up.
Why do you feel like that is something that is okay to say?
It's not okay. We need to stop doing it. And if you see it, you need to say something. I
know
you can. So do it. Next time you see this, do it. Stand up for that. Stand up for that incredibly upset and preyed upon woman that you are literally looking at across from the table for you as your DM is just fucking sexualizing her and essaying her in the front of the whole party, which is sick and wrong. Say something. Do it.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid, because it's them who's in the wrong, not you for calling them out. It's not you for calling them out.
They'll try to make you feel like you're in the wrong because that's what they do.
Because they should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
And the moment that somebody says that to them,
yeah,
they'll realize that the jig is up.
Yeah. All defense mode.
Yeah.
100%. I agree. Yeah. Sorry that we always turn it to this, but it's important that we do, because there could be people listening now. I know that there's people listening now. I know because you talk to me, and I know because you submit these stories.
Yeah.
There might be someone who's going through this right now who is uncomfortable. This is happening to them, and it's okay to feel scared, but
that's natural.
Are not in the wrong for saying something. No. They'll try to make you feel like
they will try and make you feel like you're in the wrong. They will try and make you feel like it's your fault and your problem. And how can you have a problem with it? It's only a game.
Listen to us. It's not.
It's not.
It's not. Never has been.
It's totally fine to feel that way.
Yeah.
But again, it's not, because you shouldn't be made to feel that way. Yeah. But it's natural.
Yeah. So, Audrey. Yeah, that's a horror story. That's horrible. That's absolutely fucking terrible. And Jake, you suck. So.
Anyway, is the next one any better?
No.
Because as much as I love to bring light to all of this, I don't know if my temper could take that many.
Oh.
Not to, I don't want to invalidate or anything like that. But,
no.
This is why we do it, like we said.
Yeah.
We got to do it.
Got a little bit hot and bothered there.
Yeah, we got to do it.
Got a little bit weepy there.
We got to do it to him for people like you.
Exactly.
Is it Audrey?
Audrey.
We got to do it for people like you.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Okay. Story 2.
Okay.
This is submitted by Anonymous.
Okay.
So they, them.
Okay.
Now, not my story, but it happened to a good friend of mine. My friend, she, her, was part of a game with about 6 people, including the DM. The DM, he, him, was a mutual friend of ours. There was a player in the game that had a character the DM didn't like. The group was all friends, and there was mutual respect all around, but this DM, just, and in bold, really didn't like this person's character.
Okay.
I think it was all because of
didn't like the character or didn't like the person?
Well, it says the person's character.
Okay.
OP's made it clear that it's the person's character. So we have to take that at face value.
Okay.
I think this was because of the backstory and how it influenced the player's choices. However, according to my friend, the character's choices didn't put any of the stories behind, nor was it offensive to anyone. The DM personally just didn't like it. Okay. So you might have been onto something there, Jack.
I might be assuming.
We know what that does. Huh? So the DM planned an encounter specifically to kill that person's character.
That's not good.
It was something really broken that only targeted that specific character, swallowing it whole or something and killing them in one go. That way, the player would be forced to make a new character, someone the DM could tolerate more.
Just made the twin brother. The twin brother of that character was the exact same.
Oh no, you liked Schmork? This is Gork.
This is Gork and Bark. I got many more in the barrel. Fjork.
However, the session where this encounter was supposed to happen, that player couldn't show up and missed the session. What do you think I'm going to say?
Did they kill somebody else?
So instead of waiting for the next session for them both to be there,
oh my god, did they just do it while he wasn't there?
or just killing the character while the player wasn't there, both still terrible options, the DM decided to use the encounter to one-shot kill a different character for no reason.
Why?
No correlation, no problems with them, just killed them without any warning as an impulse decision. I don't know the details after this, but my friend was oblivious to the DM's motivation until he told her later, and she quit the game because of it.
I'm not surprised that she quit the game.
Yeah, no shit. She's baffled by the whole thing, and the DM ended up being a really shitty person. But that incident started, and it snowballed from there.
Yeah, it sounds like they're a shitty person.
Listen, right? In a group with 6 people, there is always going to be people who are closer with others and not as close.
Mm-hmm.
That's simply going to be the case. There's going to be characters that the DM feels more connected to and characters the DM's going to feel less connected to.
Yeah.
However, we don't then go, say it with me,
kill that person's
kill
character.
The person's character. Exactly.
So, what you're telling me is, okay, just so I got my got my shit in the straight line.
Yep.
So, DM didn't like one person's character. Built an encounter to kill that person's character.
Yep.
That person didn't turn up that day.
Yes.
So they just killed somebody else's character.
Yeah.
What?
Like.
Okay, let's just cut to the chase. Okay. This DM's a loser.
This DM definitely doesn't know how to manage their out-of-game feelings towards in-game situations.
Well, yeah, you say that, and I would have agreed with you that I think that the DM just hated that specific person, not character.
Yeah.
But then they just went and killed somebody else.
That's where it doesn't make sense, right? That's
yeah, it
where
does.
It
makes perfect sense.
Well, no, it makes no sense.
It does. The DM is unhinged. the DM is just a loose cannon.
I mean, to be fair, OP does say that in the end, it turns out the DM ended up being a bad person.
There you go.
So
that was like to first of all, to want to kill somebody's character because you didn't like their character is bad.
Listen,
but then to just kill somebody else's because that person wasn't there. To be like, oh well, that person's not here. I'll just kill this person instead. Like to just have that intent to just go into the session and just like, oh well, I'm going to kill someone today.
I know, like, and hey, if you have a problem with someone's character. OP's saying it was character based, okay?
I don't know if was it?
Well
because it kind of went with the person because then they
just ended up killing someone else.
They just had the gun pointed at this person, ready for the session to start, and then they didn't turn up, and they just went, all right.
Who could have possibly done this? Yeah, I think if you have a problem with someone's character or backstory, etc., have a conversation with them.
Yeah,
I think there was a situation in an episode we did, like in the beginning. Someone said, like, oh, I'm just going to kill this character with loads of dragons or something. That's not the way to... This isn't the way to do it. Just have a conversation with them. If there's something that you think in their backstory that, even if you personally don't like it, as the DM, just have a conversation.
Yeah, you can just talk to them. Just like... You know, if there was something that made you feel uncomfortable, it's okay to just talk to a player about it.
Yes, of course.
But I don't know if that's the case here, but Margaret...
Oh, you're gonna slip me the old babe.
I was gonna slip you the old babe. I don't know if that's the case here, babe. Because I seriously don't think it is. I think this DM just, you know how like players can be like murder hobo. This DM is just a murder hobo. Right now, you're dead today.
Listen, there's just so many different ways to go about it than that.
I mean, yeah, and also you shouldn't want to kill anyone's character in the first place, but then to just switch the gun onto someone else and then just shoot them. Just because that person didn't show up. Oh, I'm really sorry. I was gonna kill this person, but they're not here today, so it's you who's in the firing line now instead.
My pop shield's falling down.
No, you're alright.
And you know what? I've been listening to the past few episodes. There's been a lot of, so it's alright. I wonder if OP said that this isn't their story; it's their friend's story. I wonder if it was her character who was killed off. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Because OP said my friend just told me about this.
Oh right.
And
okay.
Like, I wonder if the friend's character was the one that was killed off.
Hopefully not.
Because it said, OP said, I don't know the details after this, but my friend was oblivious to the DM's motivation the whole time. And then she quit the game, understandably.
I think the DM's oblivious to their own motivation.
I think DM just
well, clearly they have, because he was like, I'm going to kill this person. And they turned up.
Kill you, and you, and you.
All the motives to kill that person's character just suddenly washed away, and then they were like, right, well, you're definitely in the firing line next. You've pissed me off at some point.
So that thing you did 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago, I'm pretty sure your character pissed me off. Yeah, you're dead.
Oh, yeah, that's so a little bit more lighthearted. Still like, shitty, but
yeah, that DM's obviously just.
There's obviously some weird stuff going on in
just
there.
Just a terrible DM. That's just a terrible DM. Like, don't just kill off your players and stuff like that. There's better ways to go about it.
Agreed. Very much so agreed. Don't just randomly kill your characters. And if you're gonna, make sure you've got the crosshair on the right person.
Yeah, kill the right one.
Kill the right one.
If you can't kill that person,
just kill the right one.
Yeah, somebody else is like sacrificing themselves for them, and they're like, "No, get out of the way! It's that guy! I want to kill that one."
Okay, story 3.
Yes.
This was submitted by Jamie, and he goes by he/him.
Hello, Jamie.
Hello, Jamie. Why did you say it like that?
I don't know.
Hello, Jamie.
Hello, Jamie.
Hello, Jamie. So the title is How My Male 20 DM. Hold on, sorry. How my male 20 DM male 20 killed my warlock's patron and made my character a husk of himself.
Okay.
For context, this campaign happened around 2 and a bit years ago and was my first campaign with this group in DM. My first campaign over Roll20, given the whole lockdown thing.
Yeah. We understand.
I played a Dragonborn, Great Old One Warlock, and I loved him to bits. Great choice.
Cool.
We had a Great Old One Warlock.
I played with the Great Old One
Little
Warlock.
Nim.
I do think the Great Old One Warlock is probably, may not be like the most meta pick or whatever if you want to go for like power, but I think in terms of like flavor.
Oh yeah.
Like those so Great Old One, those Eldritch beings.
There's so much weird stuff you can do.
Cthulhu sort of beings that sort of like live in the core of the earth or something like that.
Yeah.
Real creepy. Love it.
Let me tell you, our Great Old One Warlock, she had so much weird stuff going on in that little warlock head.
She was strange.
He was socially awkward and morally apathetic, but always striving for knowledge like a real nerd.
Yeah.
The biggest part about my character was the fact that his patron was Tharizdun, the Chained God.
The Chained Oblivion.
Mm-hmm. A recommended patron for the Great Old One Warlock, and an interesting one to say the least.
A very interesting one.
Cool choice. So my mistake was making his patron such a huge deal to my character and his story.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, my character didn't know Tharizdun was his patron. He just knew that he has someone or something giving him power. His personal quest was to find out what or who. Nice. Super
cool. Love that. That's such a
there's so much room for growth.
A simple
there.
really effective path to walk there.
Indeed. As the campaign went on, about 2 or 3 months in, Tharizdun suddenly and randomly spoke to my character through a dream, which I later learned was a classic warlock trope. Hey.
No, we love
tropes are tropes for a reason.
We love dreams. Dreams are a great way to communicate things to players.
Indeed.
I love a dream.
Love a dream.
I love a dream. Love a vision.
My whole campaign was based around dreams. So
yes, yours was.
I'm very, very biased.
Do love a dream.
Tropes are tropes for a reason, my friend.
Hey, if Matt Mercer can do it, so can you.
I was slightly sad that the mystery was dashed away so quickly. Why did I read it like that? I was slightly sad that the mystery was dashed away so quickly, but hoped it would lead somewhere fun. Essentially, I had to release the patron from his prison with a promise of power. Warlock stuff, you understand.
Yeah, you get it.
We understand, Jamie. We go to the depths of the Underdark, find a temple place, and there's a beholder that kills all of us. We were way too underleveled, and apparently we were meant to die. We then appear in some strange realm and fight some mind flayers, which was pretty hard, but that's not the worst point. Some crystal thing had a clone of my character in it, and damaging the crystal damaged my character. The DM was laying it on pretty thick that if the clone was let loose, we'd probably be double dead. No one wants to be double dead.
No.
So
double dead is a bad place to be.
No, truly. So my party understandably decides to kill it at all costs. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, what?
No. So my party understandably decides to kill it at the cost of also killing me. You heard it correctly.
Okay.
We appear back where the beholder was. It says some Seth Rogen tier one-liner and leaves. I am still dead. So the party drags my corpse around, and eventually they see an altar with a dagger that has a use of the wish spell on it. The DM makes it clear that this is intended for my character to use. But he's dead. After some debating amongst the group, debating that I stay out of since I'm dead, a party member uses the wish spell, in brackets, no one else dared, he was pretty much forced into it, to destroy the dagger so no one else can use it for bad things. The party leaves the Underdark and see a city we once visited on fire. Somehow it has something to do with a wish spell. Eventually, I know. Stay with me.
Okay, I'm trying.
Eventually, the cleric manages to revive my character, and the DM tells me my connection to the patron is gone, and apparently he is dead. He then hinted that I might have to change class this late into the game. After this, I didn't know what to do. The DM let me keep the warlock abilities despite having no patron, but I still had no idea how to play my character now that his main story had been essentially ruined. I had no idea how to play him and was confused why the story points that were meant to include my character required my character to die, knowing that our party couldn't revive him. Not too long after this happening, the campaign fell apart. But as a player, this whole scenario made no sense and really annoyed me. Apparently, the DM was pretty experienced, and I'll admit that some sessions were great, but looking back, stories always seem to fall flat. I don't know how it went so wrong, but it has since made me more cautious when writing characters, even oftentimes making characters seem like side characters. So,
okay,
a lot to process.
There's a lot to process.
I'm aware. I think really the main point to all of this is Jamie's character. I don't think we actually learned the warlock's name.
So, everyone can DM in their own way.
Yeah, of course.
That sounded...
That sounded like... But to be fair, Jamie says at the end, apparently they were pretty experienced. This kind of sounds like maybe a situation where they were potentially like a newer DM.
Yeah.
Or maybe it doesn't matter how new you are if you've not experienced something before.
Yeah. I think... and yeah, I don't it doesn't sound like you got what you wanted out of
no
this.
Definitely not. And I think, agree if that situation,
I think I'd be a bit upset if that was me in that situation. And like you said, it's tough. Warlock backstories are, like you said, they can be full of tropes.
Yes,
they can be full of tropes. And it sounds like it was happening and then over very quickly. And I think maybe your DM and you should maybe have a conversation. If I ever have a warlock in a party, I ever have a warlock, right, what do you want out of your patron
relationship?
Yeah, like how strong is your patron relationship?
Agreed.
What do you want out of it?
Yeah.
Like, because there's very specific ways that it can go.
Yeah.
Like, and to...
And a patron is the whole point of a warlock.
Whole point of a warlock class.
So it's going to be quite heavily featured in your backstory if you're exploring backstories.
Yeah, if you are going to explore backstories, that's why you need to. If you're a new DM and you've got a warlock in your party, just speak to them about what they want from being a warlock with a patron.
Yeah, I mean that's what I did with Abby.
How heavily involved are they?
Yeah,
are they someone that you speak to all the time?
Yeah,
like obviously.
How much does your character know about it?
Yeah.
Where do you want it to ultimately end up?
Yeah.
Do you want their powers to corrupt you? Do you want to be able to overcome it? Do you want a redemption from it?
Yeah.
That's really important things to talk about.
Do you want an evil arc?
Yeah.
Like what do you want from it?
Exactly.
But to have you die.
Yeah, and to have it happen at the hands of your party. And
but like it didn't sound like there was actually anything to do with Tharizdun there.
No, well, I was gonna say I don't know if any of that.
I know Tharizdun was your patron, but what was well, nothing there was Tharizdun related.
Yeah, just take a shot every time we say Tharizdun.
Tharizdun. Yeah. I'm really sorry because that sounds like it could have had potential to be good, but it maybe
really
wasn't as good as
Especially
look, I don't want to sit here and just grill DMs because that's not the point of the podcast. And like I think there should just been a bit more of communication between you and your DM about what you wanted.
Yeah,
and because obviously you did want. It sounds very much like you did want your backstory to be explored.
Yes,
like you sounded like you were really looking forward to it, and maybe that hasn't come across.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, Jamie does say that this happened a few years ago.
Yeah,
I don't know if you're still in contact with the DM. If you want closure on it, you could just ask.
Yeah,
there's probably enough time that's passed that maybe it wouldn't be reopening the wounds.
Yeah,
like you could just ask.
Yeah,
and get some closure on that. And pardon me, I was going to say something kind of similar happened to your first character. Jack played a warlock.
Yeah.
We both went in with really edgy characters for our first campaign.
Of course, it was
and
my first time playing D&D.
Something
Get off my back.
Never. Something similar happened.
Something similar happened to me, but it was okay because...
And it was at the end of the campaign.
So, yeah. I won't go through the whole campaign with you, but the premise of my character was I was a fiendish warlock of Orcus.
Yeah.
Very easy. Very, like commonly known fiend lord. Or whatever he is. And me and a handful of other warlocks that had like made a pact with Orcus had found a way to block him out.
Yeah.
Like we'd found, putting all of our powers together, we'd found a way to like, we'd made these amulets and had them enchanted and gone to like the ends of the earth to get these amulets.
Yes.
We got them, we wore them, and when we wore them, we could still use the magic, but not be subject to his will.
Yes.
And, we went through the campaign and my amulet started to crack, and it turns out he was like the reason I was trapped on this desert island or whatever. Yeah. And at the end, I fucked his shit up.
We absolutely smashed that dude all over.
We killed him, and I lost my powers, but it was okay.
Because he was at the end of the campaign.
Because that was the end of the campaign. Right at the end of the campaign.
Now, take that, and imagine if that had happened to you a couple of months into the campaign.
I'd have been fucking useless.
You were forced at that point. I mean, the DM even turned to Jamie and said, you're probably going to have to re-roll a new class.
Why are you making people do that?
Yeah.
Like, why are you making people, Jamie picked a warlock because he wanted to play a warlock.
Yeah.
Don't kill his character and be like, oh yeah, by the way, your patron's dead, you have to make a new character. It's
yeah.
like, well, no, I wanted to play a warlock.
Yeah, that happening so soon into the campaign would just take the wind out of your sails,
yeah.
right?
And it doesn't help that this sounds like a bit of a hot mess.
It does sound like.
Sounds like it was a little bit all over the shop.
A little bit of a hot mess, I can't lie.
Yeah.
But yeah, that does suck.
But the thing is, if a DM doesn't know what you want from your backstory,
yeah,
you sort of stab it in the dark, I guess. But again, that's not your fault, Jamie. I'm not blaming you for that. Like,
and don't let it hold you back. And don't let it make you be more cautious when it comes to writing your characters.
Yeah. Oh, and Jamie, next time you play a warlock, just have a chat with your DM.
Yeah,
about,
definitely. Make it clear to them. Yeah.
That patron character relationship is like a huge thing of a warlock. And obviously, I know you didn't have it, but you wanted to find it out. But like, yeah, maybe just have a chat with your DM next time if you play a warlock.
And to be fair, your DM should have approached you.
It's true.
To open these lines of communication.
Like, to be like, okay, so you picked Tharizdun as your patron.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, no, was that given to them?
I'm not certain. No, I think Jamie picked that.
Okay. Yeah, but your DM should have came to you and said.
Yeah. So
what do you want?
Don't be more cautious when writing your characters. Honestly,
no.
Don't hold yourself back
at
all.
That sounded awesome.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course.
I've got these powers, but I don't know where from.
Yeah,
that's simple yet elegant.
Yeah.
I love this.
And it didn't go wrong because of you or your backstory.
That was not your fault.
Just to clarify that. So I hope you find a DM that will talk to you about these things, and going forward, you have a more what's the word I'm looking for? Like a happy ending.
Yeah.
Like you come to a better resolution. Yeah. And if you ever do talk to your DM and find out why this all went down, can you please tell us?
The dagger with the wish.
Please hit us
I thought
up.
The whole point was the dagger with the wish was to bring
that's what
Jamie
I thought
back.
too. But the DM made it clear that it was only for the warlock to use. Strange goings
why didn't they give the dagger before?
They not just, I know, strange goings
Then they could have wished away the crystal.
I know. Strange behaviour. But yes.
Strange behavior.
I hope since then, Jamie, you found another table to Okay. Shall we move on to story 4?
Yes, please.
I keep messing around with the screen and I keep randomly clicking somewhere and then putting just the letter P in.
Yeah. P.
So there's just going to be random words with the letter P. P.
Yeah.
Pee pee. Pee pee poo poo.
A great pulled one warlock.
Yeah.
Parlock.
No. Okay, so this is submitted by Anonymous, and this is she, her.
Okay.
She has titled it Character Put in Compromised Position.
Oh, please don't make it another one.
Yeah. I can skip this one if you want to.
No, you don't have to. No, I don't want you to skip it. But just stop it.
I know.
Guys, stop it.
I know.
Go on, hit me.
Okay, so This happened to me a few years ago, and totally okay if this ends up on the Podblast. Thank you. I was new to D&D when this happened. I got into D&D thanks to lockdown. At that stage,
so did we.
Yeah, so did we. At that stage, I had only played online with a group of people from around the world. A recent friend I had managed to get... Sorry.
Sorry.
I've fallen at the first hurdle.
You got it.
A recent friend I had managed to get me a place at their table, which was playing in person.
Cool.
After asking the DM if it was all right. The party was currently at level 4, so that's also the level my character would be. I was also interested in playing a warlock and had an idea for the background story.
Nice.
Warlocks, man. I got in contact with the DM, and at first everything seemed all right. I mentioned I was a new player and that if I was about to break a rule, to please just let me know. Fair enough.
Fair, yeah.
The first red flag appeared when choosing a background for my character. I put background for my character.
Background.
I saw her as a mercenary, but not a veteran, which was the only mercenary option in the 5e player's handbook. The DM was happy to merge the two backgrounds together with me, but why did I say
together?
Why did I say it like that?
Together with me.
But whilst I let them know when I was free, they never responded. I went into the first session with no background and therefore only 2 skills I was proficient in. I later found out that the DM was new to 5e and was used to 3rd and 4th edition.
Okay.
The major issue came up when introducing me and the other new player to the table. The party was currently going through a dungeon, and the DM asked if it was okay for my character to be captured alongside the new character, and the party would find us and free us.
Okay.
Knowing it was a sticky situation to have to introduce new characters, I agreed. The DM said we would be able to have our equipment removed and locked up nearby.
Okay.
And they would have to have their equipment removed and locked up.
Okay.
On the day, the table had a male DM, 4 male players, a female player that was relatively new, myself, and the other new player who was also female. So you have 5 males, 3 females.
And the 4 males were established in the game, and then the other 3 were newer.
I think so.
The three females were newer.
I don't necessarily know if the other females were new.
I thought that's what it said.
I think OP is new, but
Okay.
I don't know necessarily if they're new to this table, new to the game,
Yeah.
but not necessarily
Yeah.
new to this table. It took a while for the party to find the new characters, but eventually they did. What happened next stunned me and the rest of the table. The DM described the room and said that the party saw 2 outlines of humanoids in the shadows, seemingly chained to the wall. On closer inspection, it was revealed not only was our equipment removed,
so were our clothes, let me guess.
but both our new characters' clothes had been removed as well. The only person I knew at the table was the friend that got me the spot. I looked at them confused and feeling vulnerable. Obviously. They too looked shocked and clearly didn't know what to do or say, but they did later check on me, apologized, and made it clear that he didn't agree what happened, and if it happened again, he would have to step up and speak up.
Let me just interject there. If this DM was introducing 2 new characters that were male, do you think that we were naked?
No way. Of course not.
So why are the females naked?
Why are the females naked?
Why? Tell me why? Why?
I think we all know.
Is it because you see women more as objects than you do as people, by any chance?
Is that what we're playing with here?
I think it probably is.
Yeah, I think it is. The other new female player was also the DM's sister.
What the fuck?
And it was clear the 3 females at the table were instantly uncomfortable. My friend, who was coincidentally playing an inherited female character, immediately asked for extra clothes from the other characters and helped to free the new people. A reminder that this was my first ever in-person D&D game and nearly put me off playing D&D at all. The next session, the DM wanted to talk to the table and to me about my playing a warlock. Apparently, a player had voiced to their concerns to the DM about me getting my 2 spell slots back on a short rest, and therefore wanted to have a session discussing homebrew rules. The DM basically wanted to rework the rest system. Needless to say, it was confusing for new players, of which there were 3 at the table. The table majority disagreed, but this was the final straw, and my friend and I left the table after that session. We later found out that 3 other people left the table following our lead. My friend and I decided to create our own homebrew campaign, both wanting to provide a safe and fun space for D&D for friends. The campaign is now going well, and everyone at the table, myself as a DM included, are having a blast.
Good.
So there's a silver lining to all of that, but once again, we're back here.
Why? So
we're back here again. What? We're 4 stories in, and we're back here.
So again, like I said, if that was 2 male characters being introduced into the game,
no way.
There was no way that they were going to be naked strapped to the wall, was it? No,
of course not.
But just because it's 2 females getting introduced.
Oh,
they're just naked.
Yeah.
Why? I don't understand why guys think it's their choice to just do that.
I don't know either. And the fact that it's 3 new female players, and again, OP makes it clear. She said, "This was my first time playing D&D face to face."
I'm sorry for that.
I know.
I'm glad that you're still playing.
I know that is not normal.
No, that's not normal.
That does not happen. That is such a weird, strange, gross thing to happen. And you know what? Good on your friend to come to you and say,
"Yeah,
if it happens again, I will say something."
Yeah.
But once again, if you see it happening, if you can see, she says you can immediately tell the 3 women were uncomfortable.
I'm not surprised.
If you see that, ask that question. Why are they naked?
Why are they naked?
Why
does this have to happen?
Why did they have to be naked?
Why are you projecting your sick fantasies onto everybody else in this group?
Exactly.
And especially the 3 females.
And the fact that after they left, 3 other people left immediately also.
Also, like, we've talked quite a lot about this subject already.
So we won't.
We'll hop to the second half.
Yeah.
Like, look, if you have a warlock in your party, understand that you're going to need a lot of short rests.
Yeah, of course. That's the whole point.
It's the fundamentals of the class.
Yeah.
You get the 2 spell slots back on a short rest. If the combat goes 3 rounds, the warlock's out of spell slots. Yep. Do you know what I mean?
And don't get me wrong, warlock has Eldritch Blast, best cantrip in the game.
Best cantrip in the game. Amazing.
However,
yeah.
The whole point of the warlock is to take your short rest and get your spell slots back.
So, like, another player has voiced their concerns to me about it's very powerful that you get your spell slots back on a short rest. I think we need to No. We don't need to do anything. The short rest is there. It's an hour long. It's for the warlock to get the spell slots back.
And that's just how it is.
Why are you changing it?
I know.
Why are you changing it?
And I would understand voicing your concern if maybe the DM has maybe played favoritism. Maybe the
clearly
DM
they're playing favoritism because they're listening to somebody else talk about a literal mechanic that they wouldn't have had any other problem with otherwise.
But do you know what I mean? If maybe your DM handed out something that was obviously so OP for this one person because they're favorite this person, I understand at that point saying something.
Yeah.
Don't.
But do you though? Because what if you got something cool down the line?
Well,
look, there is that's unfair for me to say. There is favoritism in games.
Yeah, of course there
is.
There's
a lot of favoritism.
Yes, of course there is. And I kind of want to say that is a natural part of being a human being, and you have to work really hard for there not to be favoritism.
Yeah,
but that's the point.
That is
work
the point.
Really hard. To
you have
sure
to give everybody else. You have to treat everyone fairly at the table.
Exactly.
But
and that discussing homebrew rules to want to rework the rest system when you have 3 new players. One of them's a warlock.
Why are you doing that? Why are you making it hard for that person? Why are you making it hard for that person who's picked a warlock, turned up, and then you're like, I think one of my players says that you're going to be too overpowered. So I'm going to have to rework the rest. Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. Get a grip. Shut up.
Yeah. I am so, again, there isn't a name to this, it's anonymous, but I'm so sorry. And good on you for leaving.
Yeah, getting out of there.
This is a perfect example of it just takes one person.
Yeah.
It takes one person to say something, to stand up for yourself and say, I'm out.
I'm gone.
This is not it. I am gone. How you've behaved is unacceptable. I'm going. And 4 other people followed your lead.
So the 3 people left when you left, and then apparently 3 more left. So that means there's the DM and one other person. And I bet you was the person who was like, I think you should change the rest.
Yeah. So this is, if anything, this is a great example.
This is a fantastic example.
Stand your ground.
Yeah.
And other people will see that you are and will follow you.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
You took the lead. You got up. You turned around. You walked out. Good on you.
Yeah.
Because that's not an okay way. It's just not okay. It's not an okay way to behave.
No.
Like, you shouldn't ever get treated like that.
It's not a normal way to behave.
You shouldn't ever get treated like that.
No way. And
yeah, but it's like, it's just all these guys that are like, oh, well, it's my world. I can do whatever I want. It's like, you aren't God, mate. You aren't God. You can't just strip ladies naked and stuff like that. It's just not the crack. That's just not okay.
It's not. Why does it always have to devolve into that? Always.
Because men are fucking weird.
It's exhausting. It's exhausting hearing this. But I'm so glad that now you have...
You're out?
She says we provide a safe and fun space for D&D.
And you're the DM now?
Very cool. There you go.
Very cool.
There you go. It was a nice silver lining at the end, but I am
really
sorry
good.
you went through
I'm sorry that you went through that. That's not okay.
Okay. Story 5.
Story 5.
This is submitted by Matty, he, him.
Matty, he, him.
Matty, he, him. Hello. Matty, I don't know why.
Did it in brackets afterwards say this in a very nice, cute voice?
Hello. Sorry, Matty. Want to start off by saying I love your podcast and I've been binging it. Thanks for all the amazing content. Thank you for being
Matty.
here. Thank you for your submission, Matty. So I was talking with a small group of friends, 3 PCs and myself, the DM, and we decided we would like to give D&D a shot.
Cool.
They offered me the spot of DM, which I gladly accepted, and I got to work on creating a world right away. Things were going great. Everyone was excited to play. They made their characters and their backstories right away. I worked on them to implement them into the world I was creating, and through session zeros, worked out some great content that would lead up to the current day in the campaign. Man.
Sounds sick.
Matty.
Good on you, Matty. Putting in the grind.
Putting in the work.
Yeah, big time.
In one of the one on session zeros of the player I'll call Dan. I also know a Dan. He's a... Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that guy. I know that Dan.
Yeah, you know that Dan. He told me about his character and his goals. He stated that his character's main goal was just to leave the world a better place than when he came into it.
Nice.
This was super surprising because Dan is an asshole most of the time in real life.
In real life, okay. Uh-oh.
Fast forward to our first session. The players were having fun and everyone was loving the world and their characters.
Amazing.
That was until Dan's character met one of the other players, and I'll call her Ray. Dan and Ray knew each other before we started the campaign, and he had a thing for being a bit of a bully towards her. So they knew each other out of game.
Right, in real life.
Yeah.
Okay.
So moving on to the session, Dan's character immediately was rude to her character. He asks if he can roll a history check to see if he knows what race she is, metagaming to an extent because he knows she's an ASMR out of character.
Okay.
And states that because she's a noble, he doesn't like her. This gets very out of hand, and he becomes increasingly more rude to her character, making it hard for anyone to progress onwards, as he just refuses to work with her character.
Just leaving that world a better place. One person at a time. First person he meets, I hate you.
Well, and then he states later that he's racist towards ASMR.
Great.
How would you know that she was an ASMR?
How did you know?
After the session, I talk to him one-on-one, and I tell him that he is making everyone else's experience less fun due to this.
Right, I just want to say, well done, Matty.
Yeah, well done for immediately.
After the session, just being like, that was a problem. I see it. I want to do something about it.
I was going to say for going for the throat, but that is not having a chat. Having a chat with your players is not going through a throat.
Just tackling the problem by the throat.
Yeah,
that's what you're doing. You're taking that problem and you're taking it by the throat. Nice. But that was good. To just hit that straight away. That's a real good attitude to have.
He's making everyone else's experience less fun. And I tell him if he wants this to be who his character truly is, to write it into his backstory. And perhaps change his sheet, because what he wrote doesn't match how he was acting.
No, it definitely doesn't. That does not sound like...
No, want to leave the world a better
place.
Leaving
the world in a better place.
Racism.
Yeah. We could all use a little bit more racism.
Oh, yeah. That's what'll fix it.
Yeah, that's what'll fix it.
He gets sassy and says he's just trying to have fun.
Ooh.
We get nowhere, and he says, I'll gladly change my goal if it means I get to be racist towards her character.
Why is that what you want?
Come on,
is this person called Dan?
Yeah.
Dan, why is that what you want?
Get a grip.
If I can be.
If I can be racist.
Why is that what you want?
Why would you come into a fantasy game that you all play to have fun and be like, loads of
racism in the world, mate. We don't need any more in the party.
I push it off thinking he's just being a dick and that he's joking. Fast forward to session 2 where he does this all over again, and he did indeed change his character sheet. At this point, Ray and my other female player both come to me outside of the session asking if we can resolve this. Ray even offered to kill her character off to make a new one that he can't possibly hate.
That is not... That is you shouldn't have to do that.
That is absolutely not on Ray.
You shouldn't have to do that.
She decides to take matters into her own hands to try and save the campaign, and she does just that, even though I tell her it's not necessary and she doesn't have to and she shouldn't have to.
Yeah, she shouldn't have to, right?
She assured me that she wasn't enjoying her character as much as she thought anyway, so it was fine.
Feel like you should... It's not your problem.
I know.
That's somebody else's problem. They're making it your problem.
I know.
Out of the goodness of your heart, you're saying, I'm not enjoying it as much as I was.
I'm not enjoying it, I know. I feel like Ray has really been pushed into this.
Oh, yeah, and also, like, you're trying to... It's like... You shouldn't have to do that, but you're doing it for the betterment of the group.
I know.
And God bless your heart.
I know.
You shouldn't have to do that, though.
No way. The problem lies all in with Dan.
Yeah.
100%.
With racist Dan.
Is that what we're going to call him? Racist Dan. So on to session 3. We kill her character off and eventually introduce her new character. His character immediately decides he doesn't like how the new character acts, and then he insists that he's racist against that race as well. He is racist Dan.
He's just racist Dan. Just living up to his name.
At the end of the session, I talk with him and tell him that he is being insanely hard to work with, and if he won't change how he acts towards this one player, that I'd have to remove him from the game. He yells at me, tells me I'm being a baby and so is she, and that if we can't enjoy good conflict, we will never have character...
What's good about that
about racism? We will never have character development, and insists that without conflict, the game could never be fun. He proceeds to leave the group on his own.
Good.
And he never plays D&D again.
And the world was a better
place.
Hey, do you know what?
You fulfilled the goal.
You fulfilled the world. You left the world a better place. Because you left. Well done, Dan. You made the ultimate sacrifice, Dan.
You just
racist Dan.
There. Me and the 2 other players killed off his character in the next session in a very fitting, gruesome way. And
do you want to know what? I would love to have heard details.
And we have been playing together ever since, and that was about 3 years ago. And I have been dubbed the Forever DM.
Amazing.
Gotta say, I've had many people come and go from my games, and I have never had a player be even close to as bad as he was. Glad he's gone.
I don't think I've ever played with a person that bad.
No, never. We have never come into contact. Well, we've come into contact with people like that, but we've
never
never played with anyone. First of all, we don't keep people around us who are like, I want to be a racist in game.
Why is that?
Why is that what you want to do?
But the thing is, they said, like, Matty said, like, they obviously had beef before the game.
Yeah.
But why are you letting that bleed over into the game?
I know.
Why did Dan join a campaign with Ray if he didn't like it?
I know. Honestly, I think in that first instance, and this is not me, Matty, this is not me saying, oh, well, you should have done this. If it was me,
it sounds like Matty. It sounds like you did
everything.
Every point you could. You tried to take it up with the person. So that's really good of you.
If that was me, Dan would have been gone. Racist Dan would have been gone in the first instance, no doubt. No, Dan, he turns around and he says he wants to be racist. He's out.
Oh no, I'm not questioning that. You are right. I am not. No, gone. I kicked him out of the house myself.
You went for the throat.
I'd gone for the throat. Yeah. But Dan only joined that session to bully Ray.
100%.
There's no other reason. Dan didn't want to play D&D.
Dan decided, he saw her and he was like, I'm going to make a character that fucking hates her.
Yeah, Dan turned up to that D&D session not wanting to play D&D. He turned up because he wanted to bully Ray. And there was no other reason.
No.
He can dress it up and down however he wants. He can,
He just wanted to bully Ray.
Yeah, he just wanted to bully Ray. There's no other reason. He just wanted to bully Ray. Nothing else.
Dan, you need to get a grip.
Yeah, Dan.
You need to sort your life out. If you are basing your life around and joining fun games just to bully one person.
Sad little life.
What a sad little life, Dan.
What a sad little existence.
What a sad little life.
And now you got nobody else to play with. You got nobody else to be racist to.
Good. But well done, Matty, for taking charge and actually talking to him at each step along the way and then kicking him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, kick him to the
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here, absolutely.
You ain't got time for that.
I'm so glad that you're all still playing 3 years later. That's great.
I hear Dan.
Yeah, me too.
I hear Dan.
Racist Dan, get out of here.
I hate Dan.
I hate Dan. Everyone.
I hate Dan.
Okay. What was that? Was that 5? Yes. We have 2 more left.
Amazing.
So we are on to the second to last, which is just 6.
Yeah.
Just number
you
6.
always say second to last.
Yeah, I like to prime the people.
Yeah, prime
I like to give you a little bit. I like you
a little bit of fair warning.
Yeah. Just no, we're winding down.
You were just
now.
settling in. Just understand that you can settle in a little bit more, but there's only 2 left.
We're winding down.
Yeah. We're on the down slope.
We're on the decline.
Yeah, the podcast on a decline.
The slow, steady decline.
Yeah.
Okay, so story 6, and this has been submitted by LoungingLemur, and she goes by she/her.
Thank you, LoungingLemur.
LoungingLemur. So, like most female D&D players I know, I have quite a few horror stories. Here's one of my worst ones. I tried to make it as bare bones as possible while still conveying what happened. I hope it isn't too long. First of all, I just want to say she's done a brilliant job condensing this.
Really?
Yeah, genuinely. So, it's not too long, don't worry. So,
should I prepare myself?
No.
Okay.
It's not in the way you think it is.
Go.
But I have absolutely no doubt that she has probably experienced. Anyway.
Well, by the sounds of it, yes.
Yeah, yes. So, I joined an already running 5e game as a warlock with a criminal background.
This is the warlock part.
It's the Eldritch Podblast.
We exclusively druids and warlocks. No one else. Yeah. Play anything else.
Get out
I'm
of
sorry.
here.
You're not
we
welcome.
don't want to know. You're not coming into the club.
Warlock.
Although, to be fair, she says, I do normally play as a rogue, but they had a rogue already, the only other female player. My first game. We rescued a city from a horde of kobold, and only 6 town people died. The mayor went to reward us and gave everyone but the rogue a reward, telling her that she had too much evil in her to be rewarded. This was not the first time the DM slighted our rogue, but the other things were far more subtle. Okay. Cue my second game. Me and the rogue waited for an hour and a half in real life time while the other players bought new armor, got a hunting hound, and got a new bow, etc. Finally, bored out of my mind, I DM'd the rogue and asked her if she wanted to find some stuff to thieve. She said yes. I now know what the DM did was block us 3 times, but my neurodivergent self didn't understand that and kept trying. Finally, he let us into a house. We snuck upstairs, found a jewelry box, and were arguing over it when the DM sent 2 guards in, talking about how this house was the house to 2 of the dead townspeople and how they needed to find clothes and stuff for the 4-year-old orphan. We were both caught and the jewelry box confiscated. I totally threw the rogue under the bus. I said I had come here to stop her from stealing.
Okay.
The guards took us across the city to see the mayor. The whole way I'm talking about how I tried to stop the rogue and rolling great. I want to point out, the rogue and I were laughing, having a great time because we're both rogues. All of this was interspersed between the other players' turns. So in real life, LoungingLemur and their friend were finding this funny.
Yeah.
Finally, the guards bring us up to the front of the mayor. I rolled a nat 20 to convince him I was trying to stop the rogue.
Mm-hmm.
He believes me and throws her in his basement dungeon, and the rest of us begin our journey. The game ends. I DM'd and apologized to the rogue. She laughs and says it was the most fun she'd had in that game and thanked me. I went to bed feeling great. I woke up to every single player in the game verbally, via text, attacking our rogue, calling her evil and a bad player, and many other awful comments. I DM'd her asking if she was okay and if she wanted me to step in since it was my idea to thieve. She said no, she didn't want me to also get attacked. The DM finally shows up, makes everyone back down, and then says, the rogue and the warlock did what their characters do. But rogues are against my personal beliefs, and I'll be asking the rogue to roll a new non-rogue character before the next game. Rogues are against his personal beliefs? I mentally said, what the fuck? And then DM'd the DM that I was quitting. He said he wasn't surprised. And that was that. Hey, Lemur, you said it perfectly. What the fuck?
Against?
What on earth?
Rogues are against my personal beliefs.
Listen, DM, if rogues are against your personal beliefs...
Why'd you let somebody roll a rogue?
Exactly. Sorry, I didn't know what you said then.
Why did you let somebody play a rogue in the first place?
Why let someone roll a rogue? Exactly. Because that should have been
that's session 0 if it's against your personal beliefs.
I don't know how.
I don't understand what that means.
I mean,
but
potentially they could be talking about like the thieving aspect of it, which I understand. But if you had a problem with any of that, it should have
been session 0.
Yeah.
Like, is it? Is it because of your personal beliefs?
Well, no. I get the feeling.
No,
I get the feeling that the DM had such a lack of a spine that they couldn't talk to people like a real life human adult and didn't communicate any of this. And you know what? It's the fact that she said, after she said she was quitting, the DM was like, "I'm not surprised." That feels like that was a targeted attempt just to get them out of here.
Well, why did you invite her to play then? Why did
you invite them to play?
Why did you invite the warlock to play?
Why did you let her roll a rogue?
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
And you know what?
Why?
She says she joined as a warlock with a criminal background, right? If you don't want them to be
criminals,
thieving, then don't let them. Tell them no. And you know what? Maybe you didn't realize you didn't like this. Maybe you didn't realize that you couldn't handle the thieving, that you couldn't handle the bad behavior.
And instead of waking up and seeing all of those messages about the rogue the next day and everyone attacking that person, instead of going like, hey, let's stop this. This isn't cool.
They did what their characters were going to do.
You just went, I don't like rogues. Nah, you'll be rolling something else next week.
I mean, to be fair, she does say the DM did step in, made everyone back down, and said they were just doing what their characters did.
And then said that you can't play rogue.
Rogues are against my personal belief, and I'll be asking
the anti-rogue society.
No rogues welcome here.
No rogues up in here.
Hey, same. No rogues welcome here. It's only
rogues.
druids and warlocks.
Yeah.
Are we this?
This is us.
This is us.
What have we become?
Yeah, I completely believe.
It sounds like some weird goings on.
Yeah,
here,
it sounds like there's something else that the DM obviously didn't make you aware of.
Yeah.
This is just poor communication.
Poor communication.
This is someone making a decision before even letting it play out.
Yeah.
That is wrong. Your DM should have.
It's very strange.
It's a very
and also,
strange.
why you just an hour and a half of people just sat there?
Yeah, I know.
I know. I don't people don't turn up to D&D to have the time wasted. People turn up to D&D to have a good time.
To be the main character.
Like it doesn't matter. Like if someone's going shopping, like if it's taking too long, speed it along.
Yeah.
If you're doing a split the party, do a little bit. Turn to the other characters. Right, what are you two doing?
Yeah.
But you didn't. And you left them there to do nothing, and then they decided they want to go thieving.
Yeah.
And then you said, I don't like rogues.
Like I feel like this is all like a breeding ground for those players felt empowered enough to say horrible things about that rogue in the group chat and berate her as a player. That is obviously a precedent that has been set, right? That's something that has been encouraged, which is just pathetic.
This is very strange behavior.
But this honestly, I fully believe this just comes down to people having an issue with someone for whatever reason.
I think that's what it is.
And not being able to communicate it. And it's hard. I get it. It's hard. But is it as hard as completely excluding someone? Using someone as a scapegoat is not okay. That's what's happened here. This DM didn't want these two people playing in the game.
Sounds like that.
So they allowed it to get to a point where it could have been anything.
I'm going to say it.
Go on.
I'm going to say it.
What are you going to say?
I'm going to say it.
What are you going to say? No, only druid?
No, I'm going to say it.
Go on.
They were the two women.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yes, and that, I feel like that also plays a part in it as well.
I mean, probably.
Yeah, I feel like that plays a part in it too. The fact that they were the two women and they were being left out from all the other things happening.
And then they were told what to do by the male DM.
It's all painting a picture and using someone as a scapegoat because you don't have the spine to have the conversation and sitting back and being like, well, they'll leave eventually. DM wasn't surprised they left. They'll leave eventually. If I push them out,
I'm not surprised if you're sitting there doing nothing for an hour and a half on D&D nights. Man, I couldn't think of anything more boring.
I know. I couldn't anything more devastating. That would
turning
suck.
Up, hype for D&D. You turn up and like, right, you three want to go shopping? Yeah, you two just right. Let's go shopping, and then you just do an hour and a half shopping, and two people just sat there doing nothing.
Yeah, I know. I completely.
It's not fair.
No, it's not.
We turn up to play D&D, not to sit around and wait.
Indeed, I completely agree. this is just a typical case of, well, they'll leave eventually, and because the DM didn't have to have a conversation and didn't bring it up and didn't look like they were being the bad guy.
The DM didn't kick them out, they left. So
exactly.
It's on them.
So it's on them. Yeah. Pathetic. Bad behaviour.
Bad. Naughty.
Bad. Boo. But see what I mean? How condensed of that? I feel like she condensed that extremely well.
That was really condensed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for your poor experience.
Yeah, no, I am.
I hope you found again.
That does suck. I am. You know what? It sounds like she completely recognized that this was the weirdest shit ever. And
that is weird.
Yeah, not normal.
I want you to understand that that's weird. I hope I.
Not normal behavior. Yeah. No way. Thank you very much for your submission.
Thank you.
Okay, we are on to the last one,
which is number. 7. Is it? I thought it was number 6.
Is it? No, number 7.
Just gaslighting.
Yeah, it's because I can never get these numbers right. But yes, no, it's number 7.
Yes.
Okay. So this was submitted by Danny, and she goes by she, they.
Hello, Danny. Thank you for your submission.
Well, she starts with, thank you for reading this. Not a problem.
Not a problem. Thanks for giving it to us to read.
I'll make a long story short. I genuinely tried to make it short. This was a 2-year campaign, and I still didn't include everything that was wrong with it. Basically, during the pandemic, I joined an online D&D group running Curse of Strahd. I didn't know anyone in the game, and I'd never played with them before, but I ended up meeting my now best friend at this game. That's great.
Let's go.
The DM, they them pronouns, told us that we weren't to make in-depth backstories, as we will mainly be following the module.
Okay.
This was all fine if it was true.
Yeah.
But we ended up having the whole story be focused on mainly the DM's friend's character and not any of ours.
Yeah. I was about to be like, nice communication.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, no,
but turns out it was just a lie.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. A lie under the guise of a module. The friend in the group ended up betraying the party in a major way that ended up almost having the party TPK. We then got told that we were putting a pause on the campaign to run mini-campaign as NPCs for the betrayal character, as they decided they needed space from the party. So they've come in, they've betrayed him, caused TPK, and then they're like, I need a break. Can you come play as my NPC?
Can I get a croissant as
well? Come on.
Can I? Anybody?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, can I get a... Yeah.
And a mocha while we're at it? So my friend and I grew tired of the game being all about this one player.
I'm not surprised.
I totally get that. So we spoke to the DM together and asked if they were planning on giving other characters some of the spotlight. They said that the reason why we didn't get any of the spotlight was because we didn't provide as detailed backstories like their friends did.
But I thought they weren't supposed to because they were running a module.
Exactly.
Okay.
They did tell us that if we provided more backstory, then it would get included in the story. So we did.
Okay.
But many months went by, and there was no sign of anyone else's backstory apart from more of their friends.
Great.
I was playing a monk, and her backstory was vaguely along the lines of, I'm not a good person, but I will protect those I care about.
Nice.
More along the lawful evil alignment, but she herself was not a bad guy. She was just a product of her upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
She also worshipped Shah. Do you know who Shah is?
The bad guy from World of Warcraft.
Is it like that shower of anger?
Yeah, like the shower of doubt, the minions of Shah.
Well, close. So
like a manifestation of feelings.
Yeah, I actually already look at me knowing some D&D lore. I know who Shah was, and for those of you who don't, so Shah is a Faerunian goddess of the darkness and night, and as well as the creator of the Shadow Weave.
That sounds fun, cool as hell.
She's actually the twin to the goddess of the moon, Selûne. She's Salune's twin.
Nice.
So,
that sounds amazing.
Yeah, the counterpart, darkness and light and all that.
Amazing.
And I wrote that into my very short backstory.
Starry.
Starry.
Me backstory.
My backstory. I said it again.
Me backstory.
My backstory.
My backstory.
That Shah encouraged this behavior in her. The DM came up to me one day and said that they had an idea for me to multiclass into a sorcerer, because that's typically what Shah's followers are. They said that Shah was going to
Is that true? Or do you not?
I don't really know, to be honest. I know that Shah created the Shadow Weave, which is kind of like a magical...
Yeah.
Like,
sounds like it could be true.
Yeah. So I don't know. They said that Shah was going to gift me a crystal that allowed me to access the Shadow Weave without being a sorcerer. But I only had access to 3 schools of magic. necromancy, enchantment, and illusion. The DM said if I wanted to access the rest of the schools of magic, I would have to become a sorcerer. So I did, because if you're not aware, there are basically very few damage spells for those 3 schools of magic, which, yeah, necromancy, enchantment, and illusion.
Illusion, definitely not. I thought necromancy might have a couple, but...
Yeah, necromancy, though, strangely, is more like heals, isn't it? Like cure wounds and healing word and all that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
sorry,
we digress.
We digress.
Thank you for that clarification.
Yes.
However, after leveling up into a sorcerer, the DM said that I couldn't use the other schools of magic because the shards of crystals I had was sufficient enough. I said sufficient weird there. So now I'm a monk sorcerer with only 1 damage spell, and I didn't even want to be a sorcerer to begin with.
Well, but I thought they said the shards were enough to get the magic.
Well, the shards only granted them access to necromancy, enchantment, and illusion. DM said, you're getting these shards no matter what.
You're getting the shards, so you can have access to those three schools of magic.
But, so if you want access to more, you have to multi-class into a sorcerer.
And then the multi-class into the sorcerer didn't get the spells, but then they said that the shards were enough. The shards were enough to do what? Get you what you got when you became a sorcerer.
Yep. So...
Why is that?
Flat out just lied.
Well, that's the second time I've lied. It's probably not. It's probably a lot more.
Yeah.
But.
The DM also said while my character was praying to her god that Shah wanted me to become a more good aligned character. I understand that this was because they didn't want someone being lawful evil in the party, but their friend was playing a chaotic evil character.
Is this the friend that had the backstory?
Yes, of course it is.
Okay.
So I don't understand the favoritism.
That's exactly what it is, though.
My friend, who was a cleric with a strength of around 10, was also gifted a warhammer by her god that she couldn't use, while the other player was given 3 magical weapons, who was a barbarian, and the DM's friend was also given an overpowered magic item. I can't remember what it was, but I remember them being very excited about it. My friend and I were feeling very frustrated and left out, so we spoke to the DM about it and tried to keep an open discussion, but nothing ever changed, and the games just kept becoming more tedious, and we no longer felt comfortable playing with this group.
I'm not surprised.
Not to mention that the game would always cancel if their friend couldn't make it, but not if we couldn't. This cancellation could be anywhere from 4 hours before the game to 10 minutes prior.
That's rubbish.
That is terrible. That is
rubbish.
Clear favoritism here. Now it's come to the last few sessions. We are preparing to fight Strahd, and we ask our DM one more time if we could have a chance with our backstories. And they told us that we wouldn't be able to, and in fact, it would actually be more about their friend. My friend and I were gutted, and for our own mental health, we decided to leave the campaign.
Good.
That's the right choice.
That is the right choice.
We agreed with the DM that we could have one more session to summarize the game's ending and tie up any loose ends, but it was never organized. The game almost ruined D&D for my friend and I, but thankfully, I managed to start my own campaign, where I DM, and they have fallen in love with it all over
Very
again.
good.
So, once again, a good silver lining there, Danny, but man, that is...
God, where do you begin there?
That is case in point, complete favoritism.
But just favoritism. And look...
It's just a lot of lying.
There's a lot of lying
There's a lot
going
of lying.
on. Look, there has been so many times where I've had like something going on in someone's backstory and been like, oh man, this would be a sick opportunity for a multi-class, but that's not my decision.
No. Oh God,
like,
no.
Literal case in point last night.
Yeah.
With Josh.
Oh yes.
Like, that would have been absolute hit home, 100%, the best wizard multi-class.
Oh yeah, yes, absolutely.
But you know, and basically, you know, something happened to his character,
and he's a sorcerer.
And like basically, like his soul part of his like being is like being fused with a wizard.
Yes.
To like keep him alive.
Yes.
Because he's like quite feeble.
Yeah. It is obviously more complex.
It's very it's quite complicated. So you know, you leveled up, and if Josh came to me and was like, I want a multi-class into wizard, I'd have been like, cool, but I just gave him one wizard feature.
Yeah.
I gave him a spell book and said, you can now copy spells down.
the wizard's living in your head, so you get the stuff that he knows as well.
It's not up to me if he wants to multiclass. You know, if he came to me at that point and was like, I feel like I should multiclass, I'd be like, well, only if you want to.
Of course.
But like, I'll give you this no matter what, and if you want to, you can.
And this was off the back of Josh saying, like, I don't get access to any other spells.
Yeah, like that was a bit of a gripe that Josh had, like throughout the campaign. Like so far, he's like a sorcerer, and it's a sorcerer before Tasha's.
Yes.
It's the Shadow Sorcerer, which I think was from Xanathars.
I don't recall.
And the biggest problem with sorcerers was they had a very limited spell list.
Yeah.
In Tasha's, they sorted out because each subclass then was like, you get access to this spell, this spell, this spell, this spell, this spell.
What he gets is what he gets.
Yeah, what he gets is what he gets. Yeah. So he's had, like, you know, from the beginning, you know, he's been quite vocal about, like, man, I wish I had some more spells. So I was like, well, if you have any spells you quite fancy, just let me know.
Yeah.
But he didn't, and it's probably because he's a busy guy. So I was like, do you know what? There's a spell book, mate.
Yeah, just have him. And now we're going to get excited every time we go into a main city because we're going to look for scrolls. Yeah, you're
going to go and look for scrolls and stuff like that for your friend.
Of course.
But, you know, like, I would never force somebody to multi. You should never force your players to multi-class.
And once again, to lie.
So to be like, oh, yeah, you can get this if you multi-class. And multi-class will be like, do you know what? I'm gonna renege on that deal.
You know what? Like, if let's say you have gone into a situation like this and you have forced someone to multi-class, etc., and then you decide actually you don't want to hold up that end of the bargain, give them the option to go back on it.
Yeah, don't have them like married to the fact that they multi-class.
Yeah,
that was your decision.
That was your decision. That
was your suggestion for them that then you just went back on.
And then to give the cleric the Warhammer, like, I would say potentially that sounds like maybe the DM just wasn't aware that was something they could use. But then if that's the case,
then like, have the Warhammer make their strength score what it needs to be to use it.
Exactly.
When you attune to it makes it 14, which is what you need or something.
Use something. Do you know what I mean?
Like, don't give them something they can't use. What's the point?
And the fact that the barbarian was given 3 magic items that were great for them, and then the friend in question was also given something.
Like, tell me you don't care about your player.
I know.
Tell me you don't care about your player.
Tell me you only like one person you play with without telling me.
Like, to not even know what their strength score is when giving them an item that requires strength.
I know.
Like, what are you doing?
And to be like, well, no backstories because we're running a module, which is fair enough, by the way.
By the way, like, at the beginning when they said that, I was like, oh, nice, clear communication.
Yeah,
I understand. And everyone was on board. Yeah. Totally fine.
Yeah.
But
then to be like...
That wasn't the case, was it?
To get a backstory and be like, yeah.
Oh, man, your backstory is so good.
We're going to run with this.
We're just going to do the... Forget Strahd.
Yeah. We're running with your backstory.
This person now.
And then, you betrayed us to TPK'd. Oh, they can be your NPCs, don't worry.
You can be like backup dancers in this person's story.
Once again, strange behavior for a group game where everyone is friends and supposed to be having fun. Strange behavior.
So weird.
So weird. And then the whole, any time the other player couldn't make it, we would just cancel. But if they couldn't make it, didn't matter.
You need to have, we've said this many times, you know, clear set rules. If somebody can't turn up, do you play, do you not?
Yes.
It doesn't matter which player that is.
Yep.
The only player it probably does matter is the DM because, you know, they've got to actually run the game. Yeah. But, you know, if one person can't show up, do we still play?
Yes.
If one person, do we all cancel? But don't have double standards.
No, completely.
I mean, I'm not surprised that was the case.
I'm also not surprised considering
the whole story. The whole story was about that person, so it probably couldn't have gone on without them. But that's a problem, isn't it?
I just, you know what? I think Danny said it best herself. Just clear favoritism.
Just clear favoritism, and the DM's just a liar.
But why? What I don't understand is why wouldn't the DM just have like a one-on-one game with this person? Then you can do that. You can have one-on-one games with players.
Yeah.
If it's going to be all about this one player and no one else mattered, have a one-on-one game with them, or just don't play group game.
Yeah.
Play like.
That's very, very strange behavior.
Yeah, that is strange behavior. That is weird.
Well, a couple of strange behaviors.
To be honest, in this, I can't lie. But that wraps it up, to be honest.
Is that about it?
That's about it.
Is that about it for episode 16 of the Eldritch Podblast? Yeah,
well, once again, how did you enjoy the submissions?
I did. What did you think, Squad Blasters?
No. We're not calling them Squad Blasters.
My Squad Blasters?
No. Again, we filmed these on the same day, so we have no idea what the reception to Squad Blasters is.
I already know. Everyone will be for Squad Blasters.
At the end of last episode.
I'm surprised everybody hasn't had, like, you know, t-shirts made.
What squad? Really?
Squad Blaster t-shirts.
You're not. Listen, no.
Squad Squad Blasters.
No.
Squad
No,
Blasters.
We're not calling you Squad Blasters.
Margaret,
I'm so sorry.
Can you join it, please?
I can't. I
Margaret,
physically
please,
can't.
Can you please join
I
it?
physically can't bring myself
Blasters,
to do it.
Squad Blasters.
Physically won't do it.
You let us know what you think of the nickname Squad Blasters.
Well, I think you've made your mind up here.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I've made my mind up here.
Yeah, Squad Blasters.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your submissions. Honestly,
Yes.
you're once again keeping this podcast fueled and going.
Like it's nice to be able to not even have to scour the internet for these.
Yeah.
These are just things that people who are part of this community have brought to us.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that.
And if you have a story of your own that you would like to submit, please do.
Please do. The submission form is in the description below.
Yes. We obviously can't get through everything we get. We've had a lot of submissions at this point, but just know, at the very least, if you've submitted it, we have read it.
We've read it.
Yeah.
We've read every single submission so far.
At the very least, just know that we've read it, and we're thinking of you. We're with you in spirit.
We're with the Squad Blasters in spirit.
But for obvious reasons, we can't get through all of them. So I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, to shout back to the beginning of the episode, if you could please give us some feedback on how you found the last episode with all the information.
Yes, with the yes.
Go on with what?
With the
go on.
Session 0 help.
Yeah, just with the general like kind of advice. Sections.
Because I know that might not be for everyone.
Yeah.
But that might help quite a lot of people.
Yeah.
So.
Well, to be honest, let us know if you enjoy hearing your submissions.
Yeah.
Why did I say it like that?
If
you enjoy hearing your submissions, pals.
Hearing your submissions on the Eldritch Podblast.
Let us know.
With the Squad Blasters.
Okay, well, I think that just about does it.
Yeah, enough of me now. Is that it? You don't hear me anymore.
I'm hungry and I want to
She's going to go sit upstairs on her own and not speak to me.
Well, thank you all so very much for being here. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, a comment. We love chatting with you.
Yes.
Give us a subscribe.
Subscribe if you liked what you hear. Enough to subscribe.
Indeed.
And then also hit the bell if you do, because that helps out the channel quite a lot.
All of it really helps.
You will be notified when we upload the videos.
Indeed. Thank you all so much for being here. We'll see you in the next one.
See you later.
Bye.
Goodbye, Squad Blasters. Goodbye.